Okay, guys, you're welcome to Mignon Sports Review, your one-stop sports channel, and we are here to talk about the Nigeria-Morocco match. It's a very sad one. Nigeria actually lost the match. It didn't go as planned, but there are some key takeaways I would be calling out on this particular video so that we can actually deep dive into this and get what really went wrong in that match. So first of all, the match started on a very low note, and it looked like Nigeria was not playing on the front foot. Nigeria was not playing the attacking game. Nigeria kind of started playing the defensive kind of game, tracking back, holding back the ball, and not even moving forward. The only time we made a very good push forward was when Iwobi threw a pass that got to Lukman, and Lukman threw that very good shot that Bruno, the Moroccan goalkeeper, punched out and made a save. Aside from that, I don't think there was anything concrete that went to the Moroccans' post. Now, our gameplay initially was to beef up the midfield and actually saturate that midfield and take control of the game. I don't really know what happened. Yes, Ndidi was not in that match due to injury and all that. Can we say that was the vacuum? Because the midfield was totally empty. The Moroccans dominated the midfield, and first of all, I will still give it to the Moroccans. They played us some serious football. Yes, officiating was quite bad. Officiating did not meet up with professional standard. You clearly know it's one-sided. But again, this is the semi-finals, and the host team is the one playing. So what do you expect? You should expect some side way officiating. Yes, home team, home crowd and all that. But the game plan on our own side, what did we play? How was our game? Did we play so well? Let's now talk about officiating. Come on. We shouldn't just keep saying officiating. Officiating, yes, it was very clear it was bad. But what was our own gameplay? Did we play so well? Did we make an impact? Did we make an impact in that game? Okay, yes, Ndidi. At the midfield, Ndidi was not available. Ralph Onyedika was introduced. Ralph Onyedika that performed in his debut match. He was introduced. The debut match against Uganda. He was introduced, but Ralph Onyedika was swallowed. The game swallowed him. I don't know whether it's fear. I don't know whether it's pressure. I don't know whether it's nerves. But he was totally swallowed, making some wrong touches, trapping the ball, trapping it to the opponent, making some passes, passing it to the opponent, and losing the ball here and there. We knew that nerves took over Ralph Onyedika at that moment. Now, still on the midfield, Iwobi tried his best, but if you notice, Iwobi was now playing deeper than usual. The space Ndidi was meant to cover, Iwobi was tracking back, covering it, playing deeper than usual. So the connecting passes he used to give never came true, because he was doing more job tracking and covering the backside, defensive midfield. He wasn't really on the distributive and offensive side anymore. It just felt like our game plan totally changed. The balls could not get to the attackers. Osimhen couldn't get the ball. Akko Adams couldn't get the ball. The few times Akko Adams got the ball, Akko Adams miscalculated. Akko Adams even got some balls, even more than Osimhen, but he miscalculated. He kept on miscalculating and losing the ball. I think, the team played very well. They tried very well. They tried their best. But, we need to still call out some laxities so that it can be worked on. In one of my videos, I kept on emphasizing on something. I kept emphasizing on penalties. I hope we are training for penalties. I hope we have perfected our penalty taking. I hope we are doing intensive training to really know who and who will be starting penalties for us. But it just felt like I was just saying, just saying my own. But here we are now. Okay, fast forward. A game that started from the first minute all the way through first half into second half, all the way to the 60-something, 70th minute, we expected a change. Since the game plan, the first game plan, which was implemented from the first half, isn't working, I expected a second game plan, such as using the wings. Introduce wingers. Yeah, we couldn't choke up the midfield because that was the first game plan was that midfield, which was lacking. We couldn't choke the midfield anymore. We couldn't control the midfield. We couldn't, lay our hands on that midfield and take over the game. We couldn't do that. So why not try from the wings? Maybe the wingers can get some 1 or 2 crosses over to the attackers, over to Osimhen, over to Akko Adams, and something might happen. Well, we waited till 60-something minute before we brought in Moses Simon. Or was it 70th minute? Yeah, Moses Simon actually did one or two things, taking the pressure away from Bruno Yomache because he knows how to do his leg work. Finally, he didn't still cut it because that was even when we kept on relaxing and playing the back game, the negative football, holding more onto the ball, doing back passes and all that. Doing back passes. Okay, Akko Adams had a very bad game. His game was not, let me not say bad game, but his game was not so flamboyant and so excellent as it used to be. But Akko Adams was still kept in that game till later. We had a packed bench of wingers. Bring in Moses Simon to take on this wing. Bring in Ejuke to take on the other wing. We needed wingers at that moment because if the plan A isn't working, activate plan B immediately. This is the semi-finals. Anything you do here will mar or make your qualification to the finals. But I mean, it took us a longer time to make changes. Yeah, we made changes. We brought in Moses Simon. We now took off Frank Onyeka. We kept Akko for a long time, which I was even thinking, okay, if Akko has stayed this long, maybe Akko will be retained for penalties. Right? But that was not the case. At the dying minute, Akko was taken off. Osimhen was taken off, which I'm trying to understand. Was he injured or something? Because if Osimhen has stayed that late, till that dying minute, in the extra time, I believe it was time for Osimhen to stay back and take a penalty. And take a penalty because, he can take a penalty. It's just a penalty. So moving forward, the game kept going. Paul Onachu was brought in. Dele Bashiru was brought in. Okay, those were good substitutions because, gradually we were getting to the penalty time. Gradually. So those substitutions, for me, some fell in place, some didn't fall in place. Some fell in place, some didn't fall in place. Akko Adams stayed that late, was finally taken off. I would have said Akko Adams should just stay to the end. He should just stay and take a penalty for us. Because the penalty should now be the plan C. Plan A didn't work. Plan A was for us to take over the midfield and complete the game in the normal duration time and win that match. If you notice the plan A wasn't working, we moved to plan B. Plan B would have using the wings. Using the wings. If the wings play was brought in and we didn't still close it in duration time, plan C would now be getting your penalty players ready. But Akko was taken off. Osimhen was taken off. Right? Yeah, Paul Onachu was brought in, a good player, a good penalty taker, excellent. Dele Bashiru was brought in, excellent. Then at the end of the match, we brought in Chukwueze. Okay, fine. The officiating was bad, the referee was bad, the referee didn't do well. Or we should expect this when playing the host team. There will be a lot of negative vices. A lot of negative vices shot against the other team, the contender. The host team will always want to make things happen for them. They always want to wiggle their way to win it because they don't want the cup to leave their country. It's always a norm. So we should know this already. These are professional footballers. We should know this already. So we should think ahead of them. We should be ahead of them. Because I don't think it's also the referee that made us to lose penalties. I don't think it's also the referee that told Wabali to catch a penalty. Now let's talk about the penalty. Rounding up, let's talk about the penalty. We have pushed ourselves, struggled, kept ourselves going, and we got into the penalties. Full duration time, extra time, totally elapsed. We are now in the penalties. And what? My question is, who actually orchestrates the penalty taking list? Who actually puts it together? I don't know. I might not have that idea, but I'm trying to know, is it the coach? Or is it the players that volunteer? Or is it just intermittently somebody just gets up and walks in? Because I know there is a list. Because I feel, for me, I'm not saying the coach must instruct. The coach can advise who plays what. Now, what do I mean by the coach can advise? If we have played that tournament and got into the penalties, from training, we already know who plays penalty very well. From training, we already know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 our best penalty takers. Just like how we used to have AFCON. We already know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 our best penalty takers. These are the people who are going to be fielding first before every other person plays. If it goes beyond 5 penalty, every other person can play. But the first 5 that determines the penalty kick for that particular moment should be played by the best players. For me, let me just give my final analysis. Chukwueze, okay, the first person that played, Paul Onachu, excellent, an attacker. He's netted the ball, gave a very good swing and netted the ball with good power. Penalty is played in 2 forms. You either play the power shot or you play the finesse finishing or placement. Finesse finishing or placement is 1. Power shot is 2. If you are the type that wants to play the finesse finishing, you have to be professional. If you're not professional, you're going to lose it. Either the keeper catches it or you're going to play a weak penalty that might even go out of place, out of the bar. If you want to play the power shot, you play the power shot as far as you're directing that shot to the post, to the 4 corners of the post. Put in the power, you're going to hit the net. Because the keeper would not be able to catch it. These are the 2 options. Choose one. And most people, or most times, the power shot is the best. Get your position right and take the power shot. Give the energy. Okay, the second player played for Morocco. He missed it. Now it was our own time to capitalize on this miss. Capitalize on this miss and win the match. We only needed 4 more players to play and win it. Now Chukwueze steps up and chose to play the finishing finesse kind of penalty. The placement finishing finesse kind of penalty. No power. But come on, like I always say, I don't train with them, but from the gameplay, I already knew that Chukwueze doesn't have the power shot to take penalties. Have we ever seen Chukwueze score a very, very good goal with power or with shots? He doesn't have that power shot on his leg. Rather, Chukwueze is good at pulling out balls, making crosses, and making, doing one or two battles, 1 or 2 flicks, dribbles here and there. But that power shot, Chukwueze doesn't have it. So why should we field Chukwueze to play the penalty at that crucial time? At that crucial time. That is where we lost it. Bruno Yemache had the power shot. He came with the power shot, but I could call his own that luck was against him. As he was placing it, even the keeper had gone before the placement, but unfortunately he still placed it towards where the keeper is, and the keeper punched the ball. It was like a blessing to the keeper. He just punched the ball. He punched the ball immediately. Kudos to Wabali. Wabali saved us in this match. He kept us going in the duration time. If not, this game was meant to have been ended in the duration time. Saving 4 good shots, keeping us alive, and this thing saving a penalty. The keeper has done his bid. I expected the players to just do their bid. Overall, they tried, but this loss is a heartbreaking loss because it just feels like every time we are almost there, but we are not there. And we are almost there. This is the same thing. The former AFCON, Ivory Coast, we are almost there and we finally still took second. We're not there. So, wrapping up, these players were the players I would have actually tipped to take penalty, because we keep on saying penalty is a luck game. Penalty will always be a luck game or a lucky game when you don't train or when you don't have perfectionists in penalty. But if you have perfectionists, it won't be luck. You grab the chance and win it. If Osimhen had played that penalty, Akko Adams had played that penalty, Paul Onachu had played that penalty, Ademola Lookman, I don't know why he didn't step up to take that penalty. We needed the best 5 penalty takers to win this match. Ademola Lookman played that penalty. Then one more person. I will not even call Iwobi. Iwobi, if you notice, Iwobi doesn't have the shot to score goals. Iwobi hardly score goals. You see, from watching, we will know this. Iwobi hardly score goals. So I would not tip Iwobi to take a penalty. Me, I would not. Because he might miss it. Iwobi knows how to pull crosses and pull out shots and take crosses and make connecting passes. But Iwobi might also miss that penalty. I'm just saying. It's a painful one, guys. It's a painful one. I believe we will do better next time. Shout out to the team. You guys did very well. It's just that we wanted that cup. We're not going for the World Cup. We wanted this AFCON. But here we are. We always support you guys. Shout out to the Moroccans. They actually played some good ball. Even though a lot of officiating anomalies took place. Shout out to everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.